King's Lock Craft Distillery stands apart by owning every step of their process, literally from seed to spirit. Their generational family farm supplies the distillery with organic grains, creating a rare and authentic grain-to-glass experience that few can match.
When we took the farm, we wanted to make sure that we could do something with what we were growing on it. So that was really important to us, and that's why we grow organic crops. And then I think that we had some interest in distilling. Rob definitely had an interest in distilling, and the comprehension of the process, knowing that he could actually, I think the best way to say it is make it better than a lot of commercial product that was available. So one of the things I say to people about small batch, having a pot still instead of a continuous still, efficiency isn't high. It's not terribly low, but it's not high. If I'm a big producer, I'm going to run a continuous still to get the maximum efficiency every drop of alcohol because I'm looking at the books, I'm worried about the numbers. Here we're much more about the flavor, about the connection to the land, about being local.
This flexibility is what allows for creativity in every drop. With small batch distilling, there's room for experimentation, whether it's trying new techniques, using local ingredients, or just playing around with flavor profiles. And that's something that resonates with those who appreciate the artistry of distilling.
It's not what it was 30 years ago. There's a lot of, I think, new flavor profiles that come out. And a lot of, I think the benefit of craft distilling is we have the flexibility to literally test something. So we'll do a test, then we'll actually make one batch, not too large. We'll see how it sells, we'll get consumer feedback. We may tweak the recipe a bit and then and work on it again. Or for instance, we had a product, it was okay, but it didn't compete as well as our other liqueurs. So now we're like, maybe we should come up with a new summer liqueur. So we're like, we're gonna play with something different.
The spirit of their craft begins long before the distillation process starts. Owners, Rob and Laura, don't just work in the distillery, they live on the family farm where they grow most of the grains used in their spirits. This deep connection to the land shapes the character of their products and brings a level of authenticity that's hard to replicate.
Organic liquor was something that was lacking in the industry, and there was a niche. We talked to a few people and everybody's like, yeah, we can do this. We did a lot of tours. We went to a lot of small distilleries also. We're good friends with a bunch still, actually, and they're all trying to do the best they could. There was no one who was organic. One of the big things was the linking the organic, and the organic is one of the biggest focuses of what we're doing here, and we do our very best to make everything completely organic. We're growing our own organic garlic, to make sure we have our own garlic. So we have almost 3,000 plants at the farm to do our garlic vodka. And actually, we're so farmer-based and so locally rural-based, it should be a standout of what it is.
Like many true small batch distillers, King's Lock embraces a touch of mystery. Each batch is a handcrafted, living creation, never exactly the same, always reflecting the subtle influence of season, grain, and craft. It's this variability and the ability to adapt that makes small batch distilling so exciting and unique.
Yeah, there's a consistency to the types of ingredients, for sure. We operate at such a small scale and in such a agriculturally dependent sort of environment that it's impossible to say that it's the kind of grain, the quality of grain, when year by year, the rye that we grow on the farm is not the same every year because there's no 2 years are the same. So it's hard to say that it's exactly, but there are, there's quality standards about, mold and things going wrong in the storage part of it that you have to adhere to, but then you just can't expect it to be perfectly identical. That's just not something we do. It's a sensory experience, right? So there's something about it that is it has to be, at least in some level, enjoyable. Right? Making a new make whiskey it still has to smell good. It still has to taste good in some ways. So there's always things like that where there is good and there is bad. And we've had bad things that have happened. And that's just, there's some things like that it has to be, at the very least on some distinct level, you have to find some part of it that is crystallinely good, great even, that you have to be finding. And then from there you can kind of work your way to the final product, which might be 7 years away, but.
They also believe that great spirits should speak for themselves. King's Lock makes it easy for customers to taste before they buy, participating in 9 farmers markets and offering regular tasting hours at the distillery. A commitment to transparency, community connection, and the pure enjoyment of their craft.
You can sample here, you can sample at a farmer's market. That's always something we say is we don't want people to buy something and not have had the chance to taste it. Not everybody likes the same thing. So we've tried to make sure there's a broad range to try to have something that can appeal to everyone's unique taste. I want them to like one thing, and I want them to, like something that they enjoy. I think the other thing we always like to say is don't drink more, drink better. And so, come in, taste something, then when you want that little sort of spirit or nip or whatever you want to call it, you've got something there you can put in a glass and feel really confident and comfortable with what you're consuming.
At King's Lock, it's all about knowing where your spirits come from, who crafted it, and the care that went into every pour. Here, every sip tells a story, one rooted in family, hard work, and a true love of the craft. For WPBS Weekly, I'm Gail Paquette.